Alright, this video could do really well. I just have to make sure I don't say anything in the beginning of the video that could make people click away. I don't want a World War II era Call of Duty game, but unfortunately that looks like what we're getting. And, well, these are obviously all just leaks, and I shouldn't take it too seriously. I shouldn't be too upset, but for the purposes of this commentary, I feel like what I should do is talk about it as if it's happening and explain to you why I wish it wasn't. And this is coming from me, somebody who got into FPS games because of Medal of Honor Vanguard, Rising Sun, Frontline, games like Call of Duty 2 and 3. Before I was a Halo kid, I was a Medal of Honor kid, and I absolutely adored them. In fact, I didn't like Medal of Honor after they went modern day. I thought that their modern day entries were shit compared to all of their World War II ones. But I am speaking as somebody who buys Call of Duty for its multiplayer. I like 6v6 multiplayer in Call of Duty. That's what I buy the series for. That's what a lot of people buy the series for, so I don't feel like I'm stepping out of bounds by saying that. Now, I will briefly mention here, when it comes to campaign, a World War II Call of Duty sounds kind of fun. Even though COD World War II had some of the lamest gameplay and writing I've ever seen, I absolutely loved the feel and aesthetic of the game. I mean, it gave me that Saving Private Ryan feeling that I want from a game of this style. So yeah, good for it. When it comes to whether or not it's Americans versus Germans, Russians, or Japanese, or whatever, or the British, I don't care. That doesn't affect me when it comes to the multiplayer. Call of Duty's multiplayer needs to be, first and foremost, in my humble opinion, replayable. This is why I hate simplistic maps and ultra-limited sandboxes. And there's a couple paradoxes in this commentary as well that are almost embarrassing, but hopefully you guys will cut me some slack on them. But first and foremost, modern Call of Duty and World War II is a complete juxtaposition. I absolutely hated COD World War II's customization and post-launch content. It looked sillier and sillier seemingly every month until they gave up and said, fuck it, we're gonna give everybody a red dot sight. And seriously, you could use the reflex sight, put a red painted circle in it, and it, no shit, just looked like a red dot sight. You were just using a red dot sight on an M1 Garand in a World War II game. It looked stupid. The game screamed, we want to be a World War II game that's sort of boots on ground, back to Call of Duty's roots, but people like modern features, they like modern aesthetics, and they didn't know what to do. How do you have a game set during World War II that still appeals to modern sensibilities and the youth of today? It's a very hard line to tread, and they just so badly didn't do it right. You had these weapon variants that looked completely out of place, really cool, but way too sleek or way too modern or way too fictional. They shouldn't be there. It really felt like I was playing a comic book version of World War II. People running around with these weird brightly colored weapons and Grim Reaper skins and all the St. Patty's Day gear and the zombie hunting gear. It looked silly. And just because that's how something was, that doesn't mean this is how it'll be now, but it's the entire shooter market at the moment that I'm worried about. It's all about crazy, expensive skins. Skins everywhere. Cosmetics and outfits and tracer packs everywhere. Like, how are you gonna react to a tracer pack in Modern Warfare? Okay, custom tracers exist in real life and it's a modern conflict between eccentric operators, but it's also fictional, so who gives a shit? Okay, Black Ops Cold War. That's a little bit pushing it. Doesn't really make sense to have tracers in a 80s conflict, but this conflict is highly fictionalized and very, very stylized, and it feels more like Stranger Things than the Cold War, so whatever. But then think about tracer packs in a World War II game. Now, how the hell are you gonna justify that? That goes beyond somebody making their character relatable to them. That goes beyond making the experience more about the community and less about authenticity. That goes into Crazy Town. And Crazy Town is how Activision has been making their money for a while. We don't have season passes anymore. We don't have loot boxes anymore. We have battle passes and a cosmetic store. And you are insane if you think they're gonna stay on theme with a World War II game. So here's the big issue. They put themselves in a box by selecting World War II, but then instead of respecting the interior of said box, they kick and scream and punch until the box is a torn up pile of shit that is nearly unrecognizable by the time they're done with it. This flusters me to no end. they don't want to create something authentic, they want to create something profitable. That's why I say stick with futuristic or near future or modern day. Do not get into historical conflicts because you're just not able to do it, Activision. You can't help yourself. The modern 13-year-old does not want an authentic World War II outfit. They want an outfit with flame patterns on it, or an operator with aviators and leather jacket and slick back hair and a toothpick all greaser style. That's what they want. I can already see it. The static tracer pack. When you shoot somebody, it hits them and they turn black and white and they turn into static and fall apart. Kind of like how the digitizing 8-bit weapons work in Modern Warfare. It's stupid, but in Modern Warfare, it's like, yeah, this is a fictional modern day conflict between eccentric operators. I can separate myself from the realism of this. It's fine. But in a World War II game, oh, you're gonna see a lot of fun prototype weapons that never saw any field use, a lot of weird variants of it with weird colors and weird things that don't look like they belong. And while yeah, fun is fun and I won't complain too much, why would I say that? I'm gonna complain a ton. But I do have a nasty paradox to share. I'm in a personal conundrum here. When it comes to World War II and World War I games, I want to use weapons that are iconic and thematically accurate. I don't want to use prototype, never saw field use shit that's padded into the game to make it feel like it has more content because they ran out of things that were actually used. So I want to use Thompsons and M1 Grands and M1A1 carbines. That's what I want to run. MP40s, STGs, Grevairs, Kar 98s. But because I've used those weapons 100 times before, I don't want to use them again. So I don't want to use weird experimental things that didn't really see any use, that doesn't give me an iconic World War II vibe, but I'm tired of iconic World War II weapons. So I have a problem and a solution, and I hate the solution, so I keep the problem. And that's a personal conundrum with myself. That's the paradox I'm in when it comes to World War II games. They're not going to release a simple game that doesn't crush itself under its own weight with weird remade maps and awful skins and tracer packs and shit. It'll eventually be a circus. With how fast Cold War turned into one, I wouldn't be surprised within 3 months after a World War II COD comes out, it's completely unrecognizable from its trailers that played just, a couple months before. Making a World War II game requires limiting yourself and making distinct choices and creating a more simple product. If you're not willing to do that, the box you put yourself in is going to, like I said earlier, be unrecognizable by the time you're done throwing your tantrum inside of it. In order to make money and to appeal to kids that make impulse purchases, you're gonna have to have catchy and snazzy cosmetics, a plethora of post-launch weapons, and a gunsmith system that you're gonna really have to, rack your brain over actually making work in a World War II setting. And 4 to 5 months into your game, you are going to have an experience that people run to the campaign because it's gonna be the only thing left on the disc that resembles what the trailers depicted. Now, of course, I could be entirely wrong and these leaks could be bullshit, and that's fine. Let me put this to you in a simple way. I don't really have a complex, unique argument for this. Maybe on a podcast I could sort of work out my feelings in front of you guys as if you are my therapist, but for this commentary's purposes, I'm just gonna say this. I'm sick of World War II. It's too limiting. You have to be weird to be out of the box. When you're out of the box, it might as well not be a World War II game anymore. I'm just sick of it. I've seen it too much. I've seen too many M1 Grands, too many Thompsons, too many SVTs, too many PPSHs, too many Lugers. Tired of it. Just tired of it. My childhood was spent throwing potato mashers into trenches full of Germans, all right? I'm done. But who knows, maybe this Call of Duty comes out, I absolutely adore it, and this commentary ages like underwater hamburger buns, and let's hope that's the case. I am trying to be optimistic, and I'm definitely being a little critical of something that hasn't come out yet, and I'm definitely basing my criticisms based on past experiences, not potential experiences. But I do have a way this could work, and that'll be my next video, how a World War II Call of Duty could work. See you when I see you guys. Goodbye.